Imagine being falsely accused of a crime you didn't commit, losing your wife, and facing the possibility of never seeing your son again. This is Michael Morden's nightmare. On April 12, 1987, Michael Morden sat on his prison bunk, writing a heartfelt letter to the judge who convicted him. "Your Honor, I did not kill my wife," he pleaded. Michael's cell was a tiny, windowless concrete box, shared with another inmate. He could touch both walls if he extended his arms. Among his few possessions were photos of his son Eric and his late wife Christine, memories of a life that seemed like a distant dream. The last time Michael saw Christine was the morning of August 13, 1986. He left for work, not knowing it would be the last time he'd see her alive. That afternoon, he returned to find his home surrounded by crime scene tape. 6 weeks later, he was arrested for Christine's murder. Despite no physical evidence linking him to the crime, Michael was charged with first-degree murder. The prosecution claimed he killed Christine in a fit of rage. The conviction led to a bitter custody battle over Eric, with Christine's family believing Michael was guilty. 2 weeks after his first letter, Michael wrote another, pleading for the chance to see his son. "Psychological good can come from seeing his one surviving parent," he wrote. Ultimately, custody was awarded to Christine's sister, Mary Lee, but Michael was allowed 2 supervised visits a year. During these visits, Eric, oblivious to his surroundings, would race his Matchbox cars and talk about his interests, while Mary Lee sat nearby. As Eric grew older, the visits became more strained. Michael noticed the changes in his son, each new haircut and growth spurt a painful reminder of lost time. By the time Eric was 13, he started asking questions about his father's alleged crime. Michael, fearing further alienation, never discussed the case with him. Their last visit was brief. Eric, now 15, couldn't look Michael in the eye. "I don't want to come here anymore," he said. Michael's heart broke as he told Eric, "You can come back anytime if you change your mind." He asked Mary Lee to take good care of his son. In 1985, Michael and Christine bought a house in a half-built subdivision in northwest Austin, a place for young professionals with children. Christine was friendly and outgoing, quickly making friends with neighbors, while Michael was more reserved and often seen as prickly. Their marriage was passionate but fraught with arguments, often about trivial matters like landscaping or household chores. Despite their differences, they shared a deep connection, weathering tragedies like a late miscarriage and their son Eric's serious health issues. Eric's health problems required constant care, adding stress to their marriage. Christine was reluctant to leave him with babysitters, while Michael believed in taking breaks. On the night before Christine's murder, they celebrated Michael's birthday. The evening ended with Christine falling asleep, leaving Michael feeling unwanted. The next morning, Michael left for work, leaving a note for Christine expressing his feelings. He had no idea it would be the last time he'd see her alive. When Michael returned home that afternoon, he found his house a crime scene. Christine had been brutally murdered. Sheriff Jim Boutwell, a larger-than-life figure, led the investigation. From the start, he treated Michael as a suspect, not a grieving husband. Despite no signs of forced entry or robbery, Boutwell zeroed in on Michael, influenced by a note Michael had left for Christine. Michael cooperated fully, providing detailed accounts of his time and consenting to searches, but Boutwell remained convinced of his guilt. Neighbors reported seeing a suspicious green van near the Morden home, but this lead was never thoroughly investigated. Christine's brother found a blood-stained blue bandana near the crime scene, but its significance was overlooked by investigators. Michael's arrest came as a shock. He was taken into custody in front of his son, who was left screaming for his father. District Attorney Ken Anderson, known for his tough-on-crime stance, took on the case, despite initial reservations about the evidence. At trial, Anderson painted Michael as a remorseless killer, using emotional testimony and circumstantial evidence to sway the jury. Michael was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. As he was led away in handcuffs, he maintained his innocence, hoping for the day he would be vindicated. "I did not do this," he insisted.